Several defendants in the Nancy Kerrigan assault case reportedly say that Harding and her ex-husband were involved. And the second suspect in jail in Portland is out on bail tonight.
Out of my way, please. Move it. Now!
Good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Dave Thompson. ABC News reports tonight that Detroit police are preparing to seek 4 warrants in Wayne County Court for 4 suspects in the Nancy Kerrigan assault case. The Detroit police chief delivered his investigator's case to Michigan prosecutors today. Investigators in Multnomah County in Oregon have only publicly released information on 3 warrants, naming Sean Eckert, Tanya Harding's bodyguard, Derek Smith, and Shane Stant, all 3 accused of conspiracy in the Kerrigan assault. No official source will publicly name the 4th individual in the warrants Detroit is seeking from its local prosecutors. But as Cindy Hamill explains tonight, friends and associates of Tanya Harding seem to be pointing fingers back.
We found Tanya Harding and former husband Jeff Galooly this morning at his parents' house. They've been hard to get a hold of since they started making headlines earlier this week.
How you guys holding up?
Good. We're holding up pretty good.
Holding up under allegations they were in on a plan to attack rival skater Nancy Kerrigan last month. And now the Boston Globe is reporting Shane Stant, the alleged hitman, is backing up Sean Edcard's claim that Tanya Harding knew of the planned attack all along.
I can't answer any questions at all, okay?
You can't defend yourself?
I can't say anything because my lawyer says that I'm not allowed to until everything's, on its way.
The program is being rescheduled due to unusual circumstances.
The Boston Report also says Stant claims Harding staged her own death threat last November at Clackamas Town Center. Clackamas County Sheriff's officials say it's the first time they've heard of Stant's claim, but it may be something to look into.
If Mr. Stant is brought to Oregon and continues with the story that I've heard, or that the media has told me about, I assume that there may be something there we want to look at. We may want to interview him.
Their career has been destroyed. Look at this amoral crowd in the Olympic Committee and the figure skating body. Well, we better dump Tanya now, I mean, I guess they're all old enough to remember Joe McCarthy and guilt by association. Her career is destroyed.
But Harding supporters say she's getting a bum rap.
I think that the word of a champion is certainly to be paid attention to. The word of a bunch of Army commando wannabes who are involved in some ridiculous, stupid, and cruel plot are to be somewhat looked upon with skepticism.
But it's been hard to get the word from the skater.
We're just as anxious to talk to you guys as you are to us, so.
The anxiety also builds around the growing question, will Tanya Harding skate in next month's Olympics?
Officials with the U.S. Figure Skating Association say they are reviewing Tanya Harding's status on the Olympic team, and they're working with U.S. Olympic Committee officials on deciding what action, if any, should be taken. They say that action will be based on facts, including credible evidence from law enforcement. So far, there hasn't been any of that to back up allegations against Harding herself. In downtown Portland, Cindy Hamill, the 10 o'clock news.
Now, officials who will be involved in deciding who goes to the Olympics for the U.S. are apparently split over the current situation. Claire Ferguson, the president of the U.S. Figure Skating Association, says today that Harding's chances of going to Lillehammer to compete are, quoting here, looking pretty grim. But the president of the United States Olympic Committee said today that they can't make any decisions until more information is available to them.
As we filter through it, we're trying to see how we can work out some type of plan that is validated by the United States Olympic Committee that's in the best interest of all of our athletes, including Tanya.
Dr. Walker says the USOC is concerned about issues of sportsmanship and how this scandal could possibly disrupt the Olympic Games. The second suspect being held in jail in Portland made bail late this afternoon. Derek Smith was bailed out by his parents. He refused comment as he left the downtown Justice Center. Smith and his nephew, Shane Stant, allegedly were recruited as part of the plot to harm Nancy Kerrigan. Stant is still in jail in Phoenix tonight. Clatsop County residents have voted to recall embattled County District Attorney Julie Linhart by a 2-to-1 margin. 66% of voters favored the recall. 33% said Linhart should stay. She's accused of trying to frame 2 Astoria police officers in a drug case. She faces trial next month on charges of official misconduct, forgery, and tampering with evidence. She has pleaded innocent. Today, the man who began the recall drive told the 10 o'clock news the victory is bittersweet.
I'm glad that we succeeded in getting Ms. Linhart recalled, but I'm not really rejoicing. It was just something that needed to be done.
Other residents echoed that sentiment that it needed to be done. The recall vote prompted the first extra of the local Daily Asturian newspaper since World War II. Governor Roberts must now appoint an interim DA until voters elect a new one. Work crews cleaned off the tons of rock that blocked Highway 101 today from the rock slide that happened yesterday morning. But the road still won't reopen for at least a week because the slide gouged an 18-foot hole in the bridge.
We'll have to get in and cut this deck away and see for sure what's underneath. But it's going to be a while before we get this bridge fixed.
So the 10-minute drive from Manzanitas to Canyon Beach now takes another hour. Thousands of Portland area job seekers increased their odds of landing a job today, hopefully, by attending the Northwest Career Fair, where hundreds of employers were all under one roof. Many of the local and regional businesses offered applications, and they conducted interviews on the spot. There were also several seminars designed to help in the job search. One job seeker went so far as to buy a booth of his own, advertising himself as a potential employee. When we come back, we'll remember the man and his dream. Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. would have been 65 today.
Don't wait, it's happening at Bruce Chevrolet Geo in Hillsborough. It's our 3-day only sale, and Skippy wants to show you our huge inventory. Lease this Go Anywhere 4x4 Blazer for just $279 per month. That's right, just $279 per month. And it's for 3 days only. So come on in today. Take your pick. Over 450 vehicles to choose from. You know the place. That's only at Bruce Chevrolet Geo in Hillsborough, where we try harder to be number one.
Hot East, cool streets, a Dairy Queen.
Dairy Queen's Blizzard of Values is hot. With dilly bars for only 39 cents. Or DQ Sundaes for only 79 cents. And Blizzard or Breeze flavored treats for only 99 cents. 39, 79, and 99 cents. It's a Blizzard of Values at Dairy Queen.
Hot East, cool treats, we treat you right.
I'm a salesman. I spend my life selling all kinds of things to all kinds of people. So you'd think I'd be used to talking. But I've never talked to 2,165,393 people all at the same time. Of course, I've never been on television in Portland before. And the best part, a TV sales call only costs about 1/3 of a penny per prospect, which means I could carry enough pennies to pay for a chance to sell something to all of you. And there's a lot of you.
Television advertising, 1/3 of a penny per prospect.
Gun buybacks were held in several cities around the nation today to honor slain civil rights leader Martin Luther King, Jr. Officials offered everything from money to basketball tickets to get people to turn in their arms. King would have been 65 today. The national holiday is celebrated Monday. The music industry has suffered a loss. Singer Harry Nilsson died today. He won critical acclaim for the 1970 album The Point. He also won 2 Grammys, including one for Everybody's Talkin', the theme song to the movie Midnight Cowboy. Nilsson's manager says the singer had been trying to recover from a heart attack he suffered last year. Harry Nilsson was 52. President Clinton arrived in Minsk, Belarus today. He received a warm reception at a ceremony at a World War II memorial. The pro-communist demonstrators protested his visit in another part of the city. Jill Doherty has more.
To the strains of solemn music, President Clinton at Victory Square in Minsk laid a wreath at a memorial to the victims of World War II. 1/4 of the country's population perished. 83% of Minsk was destroyed. But in spite of war, after the demise of the Soviet Union, Belarus was quick to volunteer to give up its nuclear weapons. And President Clinton was here to say thanks.
We are helping you to remove these weapons safely and securely with financial assistance and technical advice. You suffered through one nuclear tragedy. We are determined to see that you do not endure another.
Belarus was directly downwind from the Chernobyl nuclear explosion just over the border in Ukraine. 2 million people here in Belarus were exposed to radiation, and its effects continue to be felt. Mrs. Clinton visited a hospital in Minsk where children are being treated for the effects of that radiation. The hospital was flown in from a U.S. military base in Germany, now being shut down. But the president also was in Belarus to encourage economic reform.
I urge you to press ahead with these economic reforms, to do it in as sensible and clear-headed a way as possible, to learn from the experience of other nations, because I believe that it is the key to a better future.
By supporting economic reform, Mr. Clinton gave some high-profile support to Stanislav Shushkevich, chairman of the Supreme Soviet. A reformer, he's been fighting an unsuccessful battle against a parliament still tied to the old communist way of doing things. Life without reform has become more difficult. Cheap fuel and energy subsidies from Russia are over. On the streets of Minsk, people seemed happy for the attention. It's just really nice that we're finally being noticed, said this woman, that we're being recognized. But others are wary. It's not likely the U.S. will help us, says this man. It would be fine if they just wouldn't interfere. President Clinton announced some additional funds to help Belarus dismantle its weapons. But U.S. officials stress that with Belarus, reform must come before aid. Jill Doherty, CNN, Minsk.
Weather is making news all over the nation today. Fog is blamed for a series of car pileups on Highway 99 in Central California. At least 2 people were killed near Selma, California. Police say as many as 60 cars and trucks slammed into each other. More than 100 people were hurt in all the different collisions. One of the wrecks included a charter bus carrying 54 Korean children to Disneyland. 6 of them were hurt. People in the eastern and midwestern United States are bundling up tonight as an Arctic cold front sweeps across the region. Temperatures are expected in the single digits in many places. The Weather Service says it's the coldest